Hello, MotoAmerica fans. Welcome to this latest edition of Off Track with Carruthers and Bice. We are at the World Center of Racing, and if you can see in the backdrop there, it's Daytona International Speedway, site of the 83rd running of the Daytona 200, and we are joined by Richie Escalante, also known as Richie, who is a superbike rider now, full-on superbike rider, but he's been competing in the past few Daytona 200s and always at the pointing end. He's always got something exciting going on with this 200, so we got a lot of things to ask him about. I'm just going to go ahead, Paul.
Well, every year I come here and I'm like, this is the year for Richie. Richie's going to win this year, and something always happens. Do you feel like do you feel like you keep going and going, eventually things will turn around and it'll be your time?
Yes, well, hello. It's a pleasure to be here, so thanks. Yes, I always come to Daytona to try to win, but every year always something happens, so it's difficult to back, honestly, but the team keep pushing to continue, so I'm ready for one more.
Yeah, this is an interesting thing, Richie. Last year, so you have the track record here. You broke the track record in the first qualifying session, I think. And Paul and I were talking about this a little bit. I mean, then they have the time attack. And, you didn't end up on pole, even though you had the fastest lap. Do you hate the time attack?
No, just I think I pushed too much on the first day. And also, it's very important, the draft. So I think I find a really good draft in both bankings. So the lap time 1:47.8, really fast. But on the time attack, just I just rode
By yourself.
by myself. So
Yeah, it makes a big difference here.
big difference.
Yeah.
And I'm start, I think, P9, P10, both of the last three Daytonas, but always competitive in practice, warm up, qualifying one, qualifying two. But on the time attack, always something happened. Yeah.
But here it's not so important, right?
I think you can win the Daytona 200
from the back.
Yeah, you start in the last position, you can win the Daytona.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not going to telegraph this. I'm not going to tell you this ahead of time. I'm going to ask you to tell us what happened last year with you.
Here.
Yes. Not the re-injury. We'll get to that.
Well, the Daytona is good. I think in the beginning, the battle is really, really fun with Bobby Fong, Josh Herring. And then the first pit stop, the team make a little bit mistake. So I lose some time. And after that, I just try to recover the time in the out lap and just consistent laps to recover I think 12 seconds, maybe to 3 seconds behind Herring. And in some point after the second pit stop, I say, okay, this year maybe not win the race, but I finish on the podium, so it's good. P2, and then in the last lap, just no fuel, finish, and in that point, I say, okay, I try to finish the race, but I have a good gap to the Scott, is in third position. But yeah, I finished the race, but in P5. So
yeah, you were 5, and then you got moved to 4th because Bobby had too large a fuel tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus or get anybody in trouble with this, but describe, I know you probably didn't expect to run out of fuel, but you ran out of fuel, which is kind of unusual. So they calculate it. Do they try to calculate it right down to it? And did you know what had happened?
Yes, the first pit stop, already I feel like the bike is almost done. So I come to the pits and empty, no fuel. So very lucky to go to the pits and refuel. So go to the second pit stop, no problem. So I know the bike is on the limit.
Right.
And also in some point during the race, I think lap 13 or lap 35 lap, I broke in the windscreen. So in the second horseshoe, I have a big high side. And I broke in the windscreen. So I think the wind...
Less aerodynamic.
Yes, so affecting a little bit for the last run.
So you guys calculate it all out so that when you go in for a pit stop, you leave with a full fuel load in the tank.
Yes.
But you pretty much use pretty much all of it, and you use all of it for the end of that race. It's that close.
Yes.
Wow.
Super close. And also the second one with less aerodynamic, maybe is why no fuel.
Yeah. How different does the bike feel from a full tank to an empty tank?
It depends. I like it normally when go testing, always full tank. So the bike is more heavy, maybe more difficult to stop, especially with in the drafting, the first laps. But then when they send when less fuel, maybe the bike vibration a little bit more, you know. But it's not make big difference.
Okay, yeah.
Do you like the Daytona 200 the with the pit stops, or do you think like it's so many things can go wrong that's not really in your control, but it's different, right? I mean, it's something.
I think I like the endurance race. Just the more people working. Always with the team working together, you know. But when in normal race, just start the race, finish the race, and it's just the rider. But here is more like entire team. So I like the Daytona 200. I think it's really fun race and so historic race, you know.
It seems to me that the getting to the first pit stop and having a good first pit stop is key, because there's so many in that first, all the way until the first pit stop, and then things kind of go away because people have different problems in the pits or whatever. So I think the first pit stop is ideal to get right, because then you can go back with whoever else is with you in the lead pack, and then for all practical purposes, if things go okay from the rest of the way, then you're in that group to the finish.
Yes, I think in the beginning it's a big group always, so it's really fun, and also it's easy to just using the drafting and stay behind, or maybe sometimes a little bit of gas, and it's just very fun. And then after the first pit stop, the Ducati is really fast on the pit stop, so in that point is you need to like some click and say, okay, I need to do like time attack laps to recover the time on the pits. So I think it's why a little bit half race, big gap between the group. So now a small group. And after the second pit stop is like normal race, you know, it's like pushing every lap. And it's why every time, every lap, more gap and yeah.
Right. And also at that point of the race, it's important if you come out and you can get behind somebody again, even if it's a slower rider and you can get the draft. I mean, that helps pull you back up.
Yes.
There's so much interesting things that happen with the race.
Yes, but I think the best part of the race is in the beginning.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Because everybody's together.
And also the Daytona is like NASCAR race. I know it's really important to finish like the finish line.
Right.
But I think right now with the level, Josh Herring, Tyler Scott, Brandon Patch, the level is high. So it's difficult to finish like 10 riders in the
right. There's going to be some separation at some point.
For sure.
You know what I thought was a cool thing this year, and I'll readily shout out to Chris Ulrich about this, but the fact that the Vision Wheel M4 ECSTAR Suzuki team made the announcement at Daytona about you guys racing in the 200, you and Tyler. I mean, that kind of shows how much your team loves this 200 and wants to be a part of it. Did you guys discuss that as a team? Like, did Chris tell you guys, yeah, we're going to make our big announcement down there. You guys got to go to Daytona?
Well, for sure, we start talking after New Jersey. Maybe sign a new contract in Daytona, Tyler and you, and maybe also testing. So it's good. I think it's really good to test in October here. Now the new chicane is different, more slow, and you need to stop the bike, and you can't use the curb anymore.
Because they're too big, right?
It's too big.
So is that on the exit, you would jump a little bit? You can't do that now? You have to
No,
go.
you can jump on the exit, but entry normally is a bump. So now you need to cross the bump before right, and then wait, not touch the curb, and then use the last one.
So will this make slower lap times?
I think the track is a second or 7/10 slow.
Oh, okay.
Now.
So
it helps a lot, and also it's good to announce the new contract, here.
That was cool. Yeah, it was a really good splash. So as far as the 200 and you guys both being teammates and coming in for your pit stops, when you guys come in, you have your separate crew chiefs, I believe, but are the crews the same for both riders on pit stops, or do you have a completely different set of crew people that does the pit stops than Tyler has?
The last 3 years, me and Tyler, same crew. But last year, 4 bikes.
4 bikes, yes.
2 different crews.
Oh.
And this year is just 2 bikes and same crew.
Okay.
So, Yeah.
That's really good. And they time it out so you guys come in at different times. But you start off the same way on the same fuel load. How do they figure out like who's going to come in first?
I think depends what position you finish on the qualifying.
Oh, okay.
Last year Tyler Scott is on pole. I think I qualified P9. So the Tyler crew decide when. Okay, I got in lap 18.
Mm-hmm.
So in that point, my crew is okay. Lap Richie 20 lap or 7 or 18 lap, like nine, something in between.
Which is so crazy for me to imagine because, again, Richie Escalante has gone faster than any other rider on a super sport bike at Daytona, but yet he wasn't on the pole last year.
You got to do the lap in the
Right.
in that time.
I do the lap when not in the correct moment.
Right. Save it this time.
Yes.
Is there a lot going on? It seems to me like you're racing in the Daytona 200. You're in a motorcycle race, so it's already difficult enough. But do you have all these other thoughts in your mind about pit stops and when I'm doing this and fuel or do you just put that out of your mind until someone tells you it's time to come in?
No, you look in the pit board, you look in the draft, more riders, and you thinking how many laps now. Daytona is busy. It's difficult just ride the bike. You all the time thinking so many things, and sometimes the wind change directions and affecting a little bit with the drafting too. So you need to very smart and thinking too much things.
So Richie, you're from Tijuca, Mexico, which is, as I understand it, a suburb of Mexico City, which is like one of the largest cities in the world, right? Mexico City.
Mexico City, yes.
One of the highest.
Yeah.
In the world, yeah.
When you were growing up, did you have an awareness of the Daytona 200? Did you hear about it when you were a little kid? About racing?
Well, my dad raced past the last years, like starting 90s. So it's not really famous, this race in Mexico, but the atmosphere of racing, yes. So everybody's like, oh, the Daytona 200. So when I'm start this career, I know the Daytona 200 in 2004, 2005. So I know it's important and historic race.
And by the way, for anybody that doesn't know, Richie's dad's name is the same as Paul's name, but just in a different, it's Pablo. But Pablo and Paul I think Pablo is Paul, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and we call Paul Pablo sometimes too. But so that's a good thing to know. You came from a racing background. You are following the footsteps of your dad. And did your dad follow in your footsteps of your grandfather or anything to that effect?
No. My dad started just him. Loved the bikes and start like always, step by step, different bikes. And then I just love the bikes. It's all my career, all my life, just looking bikes, and is why my dad say, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go racing. Honestly, that's always push to race,
Right.
Okay, when you little kid, like, okay, I want to do this. Is just step by step, you like it every day more and more, and then in some point you say, I want to race.
Right. Like in this country, Josh Herron could go anywhere and nobody would know who he is. Is it the same in Mexico? Is there more awareness of you?
No, I'm same.
Same.
Yes.
Nobody would know you.
No.
Not
sometimes, but I think in my racing career, maybe 6 people in the normal life recognize like, hey,
yeah, that's
Richie.
crazy.
Yeah.
So last year we talked about the fact that, you ran out of gas and it was unfortunate, ended up 4th, thought everything was all good. And then we got through the Daytona 200 and you end up going to Road Atlanta. And then what happened at Road Atlanta was ridiculous. Richie was caught up in a crash that was unbelievable. I mean, he got plowed into the back of him basically, and it was horrible. Ruined his whole season, did everything he could to get back, but he had a lot of problems and came back towards the end. How are you now?
I'm good. Atlanta is tough.
Was it wrist?
I broken 7 bones in that crash.
Vertebrae, back.
So 3 on my back, L1, L3, L4, L1, L2, L4, and I broke my wrist and also my ankle.
Yeah.
So which has been the worst part?
The back. Yeah. I have the option to take surgery, but the doctor recommend, hey Richie, you still young,
Yeah, just rest.
just rest. So take like 3-4 months to be ready to back like normal life.
And it's better that it's your left wrist, right?
Yes, no. Now
Doesn't-
with the new shifting, you can only use the clutch for the start. So
Right, and then you just forget it.
just like this, and no problem.
Yeah, when you came back last year, was it Mid-Ohio?
Mid-Ohio.
And I remember you showed me some x-rays where you still had some healing to do. So you did pretty well there, but you did even better at COTA, and you were more healthy at COTA. So,
Yes, after Ohio, I have time to train a little bit for 2 weeks, and also for some reason on the Superbike, the left corners I'm really good, and Austin is only left, so helps a lot. And I don't know why, but the Suzuki working really well on Austin, and I like the track, and it's good. Just everything coming together and competitive.
yeah.
When you race this bike here, compared to the Superbike, does it feel like it's kind of a little toy? But it's probably too much because you race this. If you race the Superbike, if you rode the Superbike today and then you rode the 600 or the 750 tomorrow, obviously there'd be a big difference. But do you notice the big difference? Like, do you think, man, this is just fun little bike to ride?
Yes.
Because the Superbike's a beast.
I
like,
testing this the last 2 days in Rublink Raceway. So I rode the Superbike and the 750 the same day, same
okay.
time. So back to back, and it's big difference. Especially, it's crazy. Like the brake reference or the brake point is almost the same. But the Superbike, to compare the 750, is big difference on the power. So it's crazy, like almost braking in the same point. But yeah, for sure the 750 is the super sport bike is easier to ride.
So you have a new teammate in Sean Dillon Kelly in Superbike. He's not here this weekend, although he said he might come on Saturday and spectate, but he's not competing in this. But previously, you had a pretty good rivalry with Sean. I'm not going to go so far as to say you guys didn't get along, but I think there was a fierce rivalry there. What's that going to be like to have Sean as your teammate?
Well, SDK is a good rider. Of course, 2020 and 21 rivals, like not really good friends. But I think I need to say Sean is a good rider, and also go to the World Championship Moto2 2 years, also Superbike winner last year. So now everything is more relaxed. I think the 2020 and 21 is in the past. So now good friends right now. Good. But I think I think both maybe both working together to make the last step the Suzuki needs to finally battle every weekend for the podium.
If you had to choose between winning the Daytona 200 and winning your first Superbike race,
I prefer to win the Superbike race.
Yeah,
wow.
I think so. That's a bigger. It's big.
Yeah, but also I racing with Suzuki, and I know the Suzuki winners in this country. So I really want to be part of that list, like Ben Spies, Matt Maladin,
Kevin Schwantz.
Yeah,
goes way back.
Jade.
Doug Poland,
Tony.
Yeah,
Tony.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's good stuff. So we were at the Podium Club test, and I was actually surprised that Sean was there, and it was a very small crew. I mean, he had his crew chief Jeremy Toy there, and he actually rode well. He looked good. In fact, a few times going around, I thought he was on a Moto2 bike. He was pretty low on that bike. Was there any opportunity for you to do that? Were you in Mexico? Were there any issues there? Or was it ever a plan for you to be at the test?
No, I just waiting for the visa.
Yeah.
That's
the
right.
visa come late a little bit. So when the visa arrived before the test, but not have chance to make a real plan.
And they only made the decision at the last minute for Sean to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I need to, honestly, I think Sean needs more days, to ride a little bit more. He needs to ride more the Suzuki bike.
Yes.
To understand everything. So understand in some point, maybe before Barber, I ride the bike 2 or 3 days, and Sean maybe 5 or 6 days. So I understand that.
Now, we've always heard this about the Suzuki. It's obviously a race-winning bike, a championship-winning bike. but it's a tough bike to ride. We have heard that from a lot of people, and I don't know why. Do you think it's a tough bike to ride? Was it an adjustment for you?
The problem with me on the Superbike is the only Superbike I ride on my career. So the best bike I ride on my life is my Suzuki right now. So it's difficult to compare it, but I know the European bikes make a step every year and new things and everything. So I think that's affecting us because the bike is the same. But to compare 17 to now is almost the same. But my team, Chris, at the shop with the crew, working hard to make small steps every time, or have to new swing ram or new brakes or small things just to make steps every time go on the bike. But the bike for sure, looks like it's difficult. I think it's a little bit aggressive, but the team is working really well. And also with my crew, with Xavi Forest, make a step. So when I'm back after 4 months at home recovery, when I ride the bike, it's better. So small things, but make difference.
He helped you.
Yes.
That's
wow.
good.
I heard he helped every team that he raced for, actually.
Yeah, he has a lot of experience.
Yeah.
I think it's a good testing rider.
Yeah, that's good. So speaking of that, you have had a lot of your career racing on super sport, small, middleweight bikes. Now you're on the Superbike, and it's the electronics is a big part of it. Is that still a challenge to traction control, lift control, engine braking, all those adjustments you can make to the electronics? Is that still tough? Is it still a challenge for you?
Not really. Now I understand a little bit everything. Now also the crew knows what I need to go fast. So I think the most important maybe is the line. The line race is a little bit different. But also when I ride the super sport bike, now I ride more like Superbike. So try to use less track, and I think helps too. So it's funny riding with Tyler Scott this past in Rublink this week. Both the same lap time, but different lines. So completely different lines. 2 different lines, but the same lap time. So yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask you about Tyler. Evaluate him as a rider compared to last year before this. So he's been a fast rising star, but he's had a tough time last year. It wasn't easy for him. Have you noticed it? Did you notice a change with him this year? Is he riding better? Is he faster? Have you noticed anything?
Well, I think Tyler looks a little bit more relaxing this year. So I think it's really important.
More patient, maybe.
Looks more relaxed in general, off the bike, more relaxing. So maybe for sure helps during the season. But it's fast. It's really fast, very talented. And I hope to finally make the dream happen, win the Super Sport Championship.
Yeah, that's great. And so let's see. So right now it's you and Sean and Tyler on Super Sport. Is there another rider in Super Sport?
Max Van.
Oh, yeah, Max.
Yeah.
Max.
I'm so glad he stepped up. Max,
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I forgot. I didn't mean to do that.
But he was Super Sport last year.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's on this team
Yeah.
now, Vision Wheel M4 Suzuki. Now he's part of the group, which makes sense because I believe his bike has been a Team Hammer built bike for a while. So that's going to help him tremendously to be part of that team. So do you know Max fairly well?
Yes, a little bit, especially these 2 days.
Yeah, he tested at Roebling Road as
Testing
well.
too,
Okay.
yes.
Did he make you do push-ups?
I don't know. No.
No. That's his
No,
thing.
the-
Sometimes after the race, he does.
Do you
push-ups.
remember
I know when one on the Junior Cup. Maybe
Yeah,
some push-ups.
Road
Yeah,
Atlanta,
yeah.
I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, he would make those guys all do.
Yeah, he's strong.
Yeah.
What about him? And was there ever any conversation about him doing the 200?
Not really.
Okay.
No, I think Sean very close to.
I
Sean
thought,
Kelly was
I
close,
thought
yeah.
he would. Yeah.
He's close, but
Yeah. Man, you guys are really have a loaded team this year. I mean, it's gonna be really good to see
Yes.
that. Is your riding style similar to Sean Dillon Kelly's at all?
I think maybe not. A little
Yeah.
bit different. No.
Yeah.
Especially on the position on the bike. I never touch my elbows.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
His lean angles are insane, but I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure Moto 2 has something to do with that.
Yeah, even
but-
For
Cameron
sure.
changed a little
Yeah,
bit.
he
with
did.
for
that.
sure, SDK learning something in Europe.
Yeah.
For sure.
You race with all these guys on Superbike, and it's probably difficult for you to say or to even admit to, but is there Heron and Bobier, are they still the guys to beat? I mean, are they the benchmark that you look for?
Yes, I think yes.
And you
Also,
ride with them, so you see what they do, and it's like,
I think honestly, the only rider is a little bit like surprised me when I behind is Bobier.
how good?
Yes, it's really good.
Yeah,
Especially
everybody says that.
with the throttle, open the throttle in the middle of the corner and just go like this,
Yeah.
slide the bike and exit. Really, really good. Before Gagne is super competitive too.
Right.
Herring, I think the Superbike riders
They're all good.
is really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I asked you about Sean Dillon Kelly. I want to ask you about Josh Heron. So a couple years ago, you guys came together here. You guys all good with each other now? Is that over the, you want to beat him bad, I'm sure.
Yes.
But there's no issues there. I mean, do you guys probably don't even, do you have any conversations with each other? Or?
Not really.
Just high.
Just high.
Okay.
But before Daytona 23, really good friends. No, like go like dinner together, but
So more
always like,
friendly
how are
before.
you? Yeah. A little bit more, but now it's just hi, good luck, and that's it.
That's amazing. That's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
But I have full respect, and
Yeah, you
and
do.
also it's in the past, so I'm not thinking too much about what happened in 23.
Would you do that to him if you needed to?
Is the last lap? Yes, but no 7 laps to go.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I love
think.
it. Richie, who's your favorite rider? Well, we're going to exclude you from saying I'm my favorite rider. Who's your favorite rider in the paddock? Who do you like the most as a person, as a friend? Who's your guy?
In the MotoAmerica.
Yes,
paddock.
in MotoAmerica.
Maybe Josh Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Hayes, yeah.
Josh Hayes is a 4-time Superbike champ, and also is in the past years he's my coach, and I think he's also a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Talking
Yeah.
about like racing and friend coaching, but I have a couple friends really good. Like Zaragoza from Mexico is a good friend. Corey Alexander, yeah. Brandon Patch also is a good teammate last year. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I was just going to say, I think you're pretty good friends with Edgar Zaragoza too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I picture you, I always see you and you're very polite and you're calm and gentle and you're just a nice, calm guy. But I feel like inside there's burning desire to do more, right? Is that accurate?
Yes. Every time when I put the helmet on,
Yeah, it's different. It's
Different.
not the same Richie.
not the same Richie, yes.
Which Richie do you like better?
I think I try just to be like not relaxing, enjoy the life. But for some reason, when I put the helmet, I just want to win, and that's it.
Yeah,
Not
and you
thinking.
wouldn't win without. The other Richie is not going to be good enough to win. You need the face shield down,
I need-
Richie.
yes.
Well, you're one of the riders, Richie, that during the off season, believe it or not, I think about you and I'm like, I wonder what Richie Escalante is doing right now because he's in Mexico and I don't really have a way to get in touch with you. Jake Gagne is the same way. We don't hear from him. We don't know what's going on. What do you do? What do you do?
I see what he does.
Well,
He
yeah.
cycles like a maniac. He's at the
You
gym.
see it on Strava?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, on
Not
on
the
Instagram.
Strava, but
Instagram. I need to follow. Are you on Strava?
yes.
Oh, I need to do that. But if you watch him, he's really fit.
Yeah, he looks great.
I
Yes.
was going to ask you, the guys that you ride bicycles with, are they just friends or are they athletes, soccer players, or any? I mean,
No. He has a shop,
Uh-huh.
cycling shop, and also with like coffee place.
Uh-huh.
And it's a couple like maybe 25 cyclings, and maybe 3 or 4 is a professional.
Oh, okay,
cyclist.
good. So it's the level is
the
high
level
for
is
you to
high,
push.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's good friends, and it's good to ride with more people.
And there's good coffee.
Yeah, good coffee. Yes.
This is a tough question for me to ask by somebody who's personally sponsored by Mission Foods and also is a part of the team sponsorship. Nutrition's pretty important to you. Obviously, you're in great shape. Do you have a full-on nutrition program that you work through?
Yes. I'm working with some person in Mexico, and part of my diet during the days is eat tortillas. At some point.
Perfect.
Yeah. So with Mission Foods, easy.
Did you have to fit that in, or is it just a matter of that's what you're doing? And hey, I'm also sponsored by Mission, so you didn't have to figure out a way to deny yourself of something else in order to eat Mission tortillas, right? I mean,
and also Mission have the option like zero calories.
They have all kinds. When I see them in the store now, it's got 10 different kind of flour and tortillas, corn tortillas.
Some days different, every day a little bit different. Yes.
Yeah.
I think tortillas and bananas are the perfect food.
What is your nutrition? Is there? I mean, obviously, it's not vegetarian. Do you eat meat?
Yes.
Okay, and fruit, and you kind of have a balanced diet.
Yeah. I eat everything. Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing you stay away from except probably McDonald's.
No, maybe Sunday day off.
Yeah.
When the problem is when you cycling a lot, you lost so much weight.
Yeah.
So when you cycling maybe 4 hours in one day, you can eat everything.
Right.
So
yeah, you burn 2,000 calories or something.
So no problem.
I got to say this the right way. I think you'll understand this.
That scares me.
No, it's because Richie. I mean, Richie, your English is every time I talk to you, it's better. It's better and better. You really.
I feel like I'm on the same category.
No,
you know?
No, you can see the difference. I mean, I can talk to you about anything, and
it's more confidence. You know, when you first land, you know,
I
you weren't
remember
so
the first interview in 2020.
Yeah, it was more careful because you didn't have the confidence.
So in terms of your nutrition, what do you have a guilty pleasure? Meaning, do you have something that you love that you really can't have much of? Is it like a chocolate, or is there something you really wish you could have but have to deny it?
Maybe ice cream.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ice cream. Mexican ice cream is good.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Your town that you live in, Tizayuca, is it a big city?
No, it's a small one.
Is it?
Yes.
How far away from like Mexico City Airport?
1 hour.
You fly into Mexico City?
Yes.
And then it's an hour drive home?
Yes.
It's not bad.
So it's not bad.
All right, so help us with this geography a little bit. It's Tizayuca, but it's Hidalgo. What is that?
The Hidalgo is the state.
Okay.
So Hidalgo is the state.
Mexico City's in that state too?
No.
Oh, so it's outside of that. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, really?
So it's just the gate to Hidalgo from Mexico City.
What state is Mexico City in?
Well, the Mexico City is just CDMX.
Yeah.
And also around the Mexico City is Estado de Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Is the big state also. And then Hidalgo.
Do you follow, I'm going to say soccer, but football for your country? Do you follow it a lot?
I like football, but no, I'm not really fan.
Okay.
So I know it's famous in Mexico, like football, soccer, and the box, and that's it.
Okay, do you call it Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America now?
I think it's still Gulf of Mexico. Yes.
Yeah, I can't do it any other way.
His face, he was like,
that's so awesome. I'm glad you
surprised me
that.
This question, but yeah, still Mexico.
Okay, we're just throwing out questions here. Have you ever met Pato O'Ward, and are you a fan?
Just fan.
Okay.
I watched in the F1 race last year, but Pato, is in right now do the FP1 in that race, so it's crazy. The BC, the people, the cameras.
Yeah.
The F1 is
huge.
Amazing. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it really is crazy. Would you ever have any aspirations to race a car? Have you ever raced a car prior to this?
I'm starting the go-karts. So my brother raced go-karts before race bikes, and then both together start the bikes. But my dad ideas is, okay, maybe race car, more money, more safe, and more support in Mexico, and also more level. The level in Mexico with the cars is really high.
Yeah.
And I'm not competitive. And my brother is very competitive, but my dad say, okay, let's move to the bikes and easy.
Your brother, is he older or younger than you?
Older.
How many years?
7. So
Wow.
I'm 29 now. My brother is 36, 37.
Wow.
Wow, you're 29 already?
Yes.
You're
Well, to compare Tyler and SDK,
I know.
It's
Max
true.
Van, I'm 10 years old. You know?
I know.
It's true.
So,
What's your brother's name?
Pablo?
Oh, is he junior?
Yes, Pablo.
Okay, Pablo Jr. So, how do you get along with Pablo Jr.? 7 years is a long time. That's almost like you guys don't really know each other.
No, but the relationship is really good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is he ever at the track?
Sometimes,
Okay.
sometimes, but also always support me with the phone and
Right.
texting, also watching the
Live
MotoAmerica Live Plus. So
So when we do social media that features you, and we'll see that Pablo Escalante likes something, is that your brother?
yes.
Oh, I always thought it was your dad.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not
His
sure.
dad doesn't do
I think
us.
it's my dad.
You
My
do?
dad, yeah, my dad always
He looks at that.
always like
He
send
does?
pictures and
Yeah.
That's why I get so happy when I see that, because he goes, "That's my son." I love that.
He's the Josh Heron in your family.
huh?
No, Josh is always social media.
Yeah.
Your dad is.
Yes, sorry. My dad right now is in Orlando.
Oh,
So
he's coming here.
He's coming.
That's good. That's really good. How often do you communicate with the team during the off season? And is it Chris who talks to you, or?
Not really, honestly.
None at all.
No, just
Right.
finish the season, maybe pass a month, and then send me a text, hey, Richie, maybe the new plan, maybe race Daytona in October. So see you there.
You
And
show
after
up.
Daytona in October, maybe nothing until January. I'll say this is the new plan for the testing. But of course, like Happy Thanksgiving,
Right.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Right.
Yeah. I talking a little bit with my crew chief, Frank Aragaki.
Oh yeah,
So a little bit more contact, but they still like sometimes
Little.
pass a month and no communication.
Is there anybody on that team who speaks Spanish?
Well, last year the driver speak Spanish, and also
Oh,
one
okay.
super sport mechanic also speak Spanish. Yeah.
When you get a chance and can, do you want to try to speak Spanish, or are you just fine to speak English with the English-speaking people that are there?
Maybe during the day, in some point, I want to speak Spanish, but on race time, like in the practice qualifying, just English, no
Do
problem.
you talk to yourself when you ride?
No.
I was going to wonder what language you would talk to yourself, but I'm sure that would be
For sure,
Spanish.
Spanish. Yes.
Yeah, we
You
just
And also with Robertino Pietri.
yes.
So I talking a lot in Spanish with Robertino.
Yeah, because he interviews and stuff
interviews
for ESPN.
like for
Yeah.
ESPN. Yeah.
We got to do a shout out to Robertino Pietri. I'm sure you know this, Richie. He's racing in Super Hooligan.
This weekend.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
On a Triumph?
Yes, I think it is. And we
Wow.
don't know if it's the full season. I haven't seen him to ask him yet, but that's kind of cool, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a good rider.
Yeah. Good coaching too.
Yeah. Okay, we good?
I got
Get
one more
close?
question about ESPN Latin America. So you mentioned Robertino and Roberto. They're involved in ESPN Latin America, and I know that you do a lot of interviews with them. What is it like for you at home? Do people know who you are?
Not really, but of course the ESPN now with this with this support helps a lot. Okay, now you need to have the Disney Plus,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to the link to the ESPN and watch the races MotoAmerica.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the people now is more
Starting to figure it out.
easier to
Because it's
watch
Right.
at home. So I think the special Daytona 200, so many people watch the race
Yeah.
with Disney Plus.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of watching, so we want to make sure you guys know to definitely, the subscriptions are coming up for renewal on Live Plus. Live Plus is your go-to thing for seeing all of the events at Daytona. There's also going to be some stuff with YouTube, and I think the Daytona 200 is going to be delayed on YouTube a little bit. But as far as seeing what's going on, Live Plus is where it's at, and you get to see Richie Escalante hopefully break his track record from last year and go the fastest again. Maybe do it in time attack, get on the pole, and win this damn race, right?
Yes, the plan is win.
and
Yes.
you don't own a Rolex yet, right?
No.
So that would be good.
So I need the Rolex. If me have the opportunity to win, it's nice, but it's not for some reason not win. Maybe I buy the Rolex this year.
Or a Timex.
Anyway,
So anyway, thank you
yeah,
for coming.
thanks, Richie.
And I wish you the best of luck because I think Daytona owes you a little bit of luck. So we'll see if
does.
that
Thank
comes
you,
true
thank
in a
you.
couple of days.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.